I'm here with Jim Nicholas Veser, Vice President of United States Media Television. Thanks for being with me today. Can I call you Jim, Nick? What
Yeah, call me Nick.
Okay,
Yep.
Nick.
Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. Why don't we just start and you just tell us a little bit about the company.
Well, we are, I guess next year is going to mark our 15th year in business. And in 2009, we moved into 18,000 square foot state-of-the-art production facility. 85 employees and growing strong. I think the future looks pretty bright.
Speaking of the future, what do you see now happening within the company that may be of interest to our viewers out there? It could be current, could be something in the future.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting phenomenon. It seems like what used to drive companies and what used to be of success for companies that would appear on a program was to get a message out there, and that was just about it. But now they have to find some type of educational venue, whatever it is, and then with social media like Facebook, YouTube, things like that, they're taking what we produce and they're breaking it up into 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It kind of runs a gamut. It's pretty interesting. We kind of lucked out in that way.
So, who would be your typical guest?
Well, we got oil and gas, exploration, medical technology, software companies, business,
banking.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. But one thing is absolutely always the case, and that's that we're on the front edge of the trend. So if it's going to be popular or covered on 2020 a year from now, we're usually catching it now.
But there are no limits. From my understanding, there are no limits. You said oil and gas, you said banking.
Well, there are no limits.
Are there any restrictions?
No. Well, okay. Yeah, there are restrictions. If there are companies that are not relevant in today's world, and I know it's a pretty broad answer, but when it comes right down to it, if it's not of importance to the general public, if it's not important to the C-level executives that we know are watching the program, then we're not covering it.
No, I didn't know this, but you do more than just produce shows for me. Is that right?
Yeah, believe it or not, we actually...
I believe it.
Yeah, I know, isn't it amazing? We actually, 75 to 80% of our client base, or rather the guests for the show, actually end up being future clients of ours. They're in some way, shape, or form, whether we retain them for website design or digital animation or just production work, 30, 60-second spot, that kind of thing. It's pretty interesting.
The repeat, I've noticed in doing the shows that I'll go, oh, I've done work for these folks before. Mm-hmm. That's kind of, I would think, common. It's also a testament to what a great job you do, but that is not uncommon, I guess, would be the statement as much as a question.
Yeah, it's not at all. I mean, that's the beauty of it, is that you will get a script because you know that you've done it before, or you've done something similar to it, and that's because the companies will always come back to us and say, listen, we loved appearing on your program. We'd like to do something in a longer format. Can you make it shorter? Whatever it is. So, it's great.
Is there a time frame? In doing them, I don't know about our viewers out there, but I see the fronts and the backs and a little bit in between. But exactly how long?
Yeah,
are these shows?
Each segment is 5 minutes in length, and then the entire show is a half hour when we put it together. But again, we like to think of it editorial, educational in format, something that can be out there to the viewing public that is going to make them a little bit more responsible in their consuming, their buying decisions.
And the wonderful thing about it is you encourage them to be a part of it. And I think that's kind of cool. While you direct it and say, here's a good direction to go, and you take all the material, you really want the input from, I call them partners.
Yeah, Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, we have their input every step of the way, and then on top of it, on the back end, we make sure that they sign off and approve everything, so that is the final edited piece is something that not only is accurate and it's not BS. I mean, we know it's a true story that we're telling, but on the back end, we know that they've signed off, they've approved of everything, and it's good. I
can say this before I let you go, that I've done quite a few shows. I call them shows, and I always hear you say, and everyone within the company talk about education, and I can honestly say I have been brought up to date quite a bit. I'm a pretty, I don't want to say smart guy, but I've learned an awful lot just by doing these shows. It's been fascinating for me, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do it.
Absolutely. Well, you're quite welcome, and thank you. I mean, we love working with you, and if you, to your point, you're sitting on an airplane next to somebody, and they work in an industry that, well, maybe you not sitting on an airplane.
So many people, so many people stop me and say, "Oh, you did this for us," and I'm going, and I actually can say, yes.
And you know their industry a little bit,
absolutely.
Right?
That's the beauty part. That's the education part. That's the part that's pretty cool. And there are some interesting companies out there.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about timber.
Yeah.
Pipelines.
I know.
There tons of plexiglass, stuff like that. These small places in Nebraska to New York. It's a fascinating company. Hey, listen, I don't want to take up your time. You're a busy guy.
Hey,
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.